Konnichiwa, my royal queens and kings. It is your queen, Nicole, the Pisces queen. In today's video, I am going to show y'all my new brushes, and I am going to explain to you what each brush is for and what I use them for. Because what they are for, sometimes I don't even use. Like, I don't contour, so they have contour brushes. I'll tell you what I use it for. So stay tuned for that. Right now I am putting the labels on the brushes, and as soon as I'm done, I will show you guys, you queens and kings, how the brushes are used, what they're used for, and how I use them.
I can't remember nothing. Two bitches just flew from London. Two bitches. Nothing I remember. They calling me daddy. The matching was covered in money. Went to sleep with my jewelry and chains on. Had to wake up and recount the money. I got a bitch, she gon' kill for real. Talking about Clyde and Bunny. Good with the kid, copy. Got to pull up with a stick, stop it. Rich nigga shit, solid. Rich nigga, oh, 100 pockets riding. Got it. I go to space with the stars. I smoke a blunt on my pilot. Saturn, Moon, Earth, and Mars. NASA take off with the rocket. $500,000 on the necklace. Young rich niggas, we successful. Say she wanna feel special. What? And Coco make her feel special. I count 100 or better. 100. Back in 200 or better. 200. I might go put all my chains on. I just might change up the weather. Change it. Pop a perky, pussy wetter. Drip. I made the bitch at Coachella. If she Nutella, she probably do better. But can I get an E for effort? I pray to God to watch my sins. God, the form against me, not a weapon, no weapon. Ask them where do I begin? Where? Devil trying to take my blessings. They don't know the meaning of the white. Nah. You don't really live this life. No. Niggas in the hood shoot twice. Say my niggas in the hood shoot precise. Real wise, we ain't taking no advice. Nah. I realize that these hoes ain't right. Don't even ask cause they know what's the price. Ain't gotta snow, they already know it's right. I thought to God cause I've been baptized.
Alright, so let's get started so we don't waste no time. So the first brush we got is this big fluffy brush. It's like a circle shape, like, I don't know, like a microphone. I don't know. So this is the number 1 brush, and they call this the tapered face brush. Now, I cannot tell you what that even means. I've never really heard that in the makeup, but I'm going to use my taper face makeup brush. I don't know. But I will use this for my powder. I will use this for my powder when I'm putting on my setting powder to just like dab it in. You know, if I want to do like a line like here or like here, you know, like as if I was contouring, which I don't contour, but if I was, when I start contouring, then I will put my powder on with this brush, basically just to dab it in, which I would do it now when I'm doing my foundation. After I put my foundation on, I'm doing my setting powder. This would be something I would just take to just smush in like this. So the number 2 brush is called the powder brush, which is a powder brush, the one that you're supposed to use for that situation. And it's more of a circular, like flat kind of, it's not flat, but it's like going in to a flat. I don't know how to display this stuff to y'all, but it's more of, this is more what you would use for your powder if you want to, again, put on your setting powder or powder foundation. I've never used powder foundation. Well, I haven't used it in a long time. I remember I started using it when I first started, but I haven't used it. But I see that Julia's Place got some great powder foundation, I believe, so I want to try that. The third brush is called the round foundation brush. So this would be something I would use to do my foundation as well, like, or my concealer. If I'm putting a lot of concealer on, I just want to dab it in, or my foundation, I just want to dab it in right here, or, you know, wherever. If I want to get in the tight spaces, I would use right here. So this is a foundation brush. Most of the big brushes seem to be like foundation and setting powder brushes. The number 4 brush is called the flat foundation brush. Now this is something I do use to do my foundation. It's flat. When I do use a brush, I don't use them all the time. I prefer the sponge. But if you think that you would like the brush to put your foundation on, this is good because it's getting all in your skin, you know. It's not going into the brush. It's going more into your skin. So you putting it on, and to me, you will see like the little dots right there. I don't know about these brushes, but the brushes I have, the cheap ones, you know, you can see where you put it. So when that's why I use my sponge. I put my foundation on with my brush sometimes, but then I go over with my sponge. It's a habit. Even if I don't want to do that, I will do it by habit. The number 5 brush is called a contour brush. Now this is a brush that I don't use at all because I don't contour, but it is good. See how it's angled? It got a little angle to it, and it's wide right here, so you can contour, get a nice good line when you're contouring, and you know, you won't get too much. You know what I'm saying? So probably even when you're doing your nose, it depends on, you know, how big your nose is or whatever. This will be a good brush. So it's a good angle brush for contouring. The number 6 brush is called the large concealer brush. Now this brush I do use. I didn't use this one until I had got one of these type of brushes in one of my BoxyCharm boxes, and it, man, I love putting on my concealer this way. It gets right here in the corners. You know what I'm saying? You don't get it in your eye, you know, with the sponge. It's still good with the sponge as well. I'm not going to tell you it's bad with the sponge. It's no better, but it gets where it needs to get in the corners. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have one of those sponges that have the angle sponges, then this is a good brush for the concealer. The number 7 brush is called the highlight brush. It's like a round Q-tip type shape, I want to say. If you use highlight like a lot. When I do highlight, I try to do like a swipe because I always put too much on. So this would be good for your highlight right here or wherever you want your highlights. Even if you want to put on your nose, it's too big for me. I would think that'd be too big. Hold on. Okay, so the next brush, the number 8 brush, is called the blush brush. Now this is a good brush for a blush because it's got an angle on it. Excuse me. It has an angle on it, so you could do your blush and just swipe it up 1 or 2 times or swipe it down. You know, you get right where you need to get it at, right? You want your blush to go right here on your cheekbone, so it goes a good up, or you can turn it around and go up or down. So this is a good brush for that. I will use my brush for that. But I usually use, it's a flatter brush. I can't find it. Let me see. It's a brush that I see people use also. Is one of these like flat brushes. You can see it's flat, and you can do your highlight with this too, because you just put a little bit on, or you can use it for your blush if you don't want a lot of blush on. Okay, the number, what I was on 8. The number 9 brush is called a pointy blending brush. So this is a blending brush, which I think, I know I've used, but I know it's called a pointy one because they got, the next brush also is a blending brush, but this one is a pointy one in case you just want to like get, like say you want to do your eyeshadow and you want to just like get in a certain area. This would be the area, or you know, you just want to get the corners right here, or you just want to get in a certain area of your eye, then you got the pointy one, right? The next one is number 10. It's called the angled eyeshadow brush. So this is the one also, it's an angle. You see, it has an angle on it. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it has an angle on. So if you like want to do like a wing type situation right here, you just want that powder to be in that one spot, this would be the one. Or also, you know, in a corner only, like you want to do a highlight in the corners, this would be a good brush for that because it got that tip right here and it's got an angle in case you want to go in an angle. Now number 11 brush, the number 11 brush is called the eyeshadow brush. So it's like a flat but not flat type brush. It's like flat but not too flat, and you can just like, this is like one I would use to like press on my eyeshadow, or like if I'm using glitter, I would use it to press it on instead of, you know, blending it in. The number 12 brush is called the Flat Definer Brush. I've never used it for that. I don't define my eyeshadow. Not that I know of anyway, but it's a flat brush, so I would still use this brush myself. I would use it if I want to get like at the bottom of my, the bottom of my eyes right here, and it won't get too much in my eye, or I want to do like that wing situation like that, or like, on the crease of my eyes. I want to build that like a wing, like I'm about to do a wing, but I'm not. I'm just going over my eyelids with the eyeshadow. And the number 13 brush is called the Smudge Brush. This is like, I be wanting to try the smudge look, but I've never done it per se. But it is a brown brush, and it's like short. And you're basically just using this to like blend out. So you want to like smudge it like it's smudged, but you just blend it out. What you already have on your eye, you're just taking it and bringing it up. So it could be like a smudge like look. The number 14 brush is called another eyeshadow brush. So it's basically the same. You could just pat your glitter on, your eyeshadow on, or whatever you want to use. It's not really made for blending, but you can use whatever brush you want for blending, whatever you feel comfortable with. Makeup has no rules, so you can do whatever you want with these brushes. They're just giving you an idea of what these brushes are for, basically. The number 15 brush is called the Shadow Brush. It's like more of the same brush that the eyeshadow brush. It looks just like the eyeshadow brush. So, you pat it on, but it's like a more pointy type look. So you probably could be like more defined when you're putting on your eyeshadow. Number 16 brush is called the Concealer Brush. Now, if you want, like when you put your concealer on, there are some people that put the concealer on right here and right here. This is good for that because you can get into the tight, you can like, if you do a wing, the way I do a wing, I always do a wing. I go under my wing and I conceal it to make it look super straight if it doesn't look really straight. So I think this is good for that. It's good for concealer and getting to those tight corners right here, really buff it out. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so the number 17 brush is called the Small Blending Brush. Okay, so this would be something you would like blend more with and try to get like right here and blend, or if you want to do your whole eye, but this is like more of a tight spaces under here situation. So the blending brush. And the number 18 brush is called another eyeshadow brush. This is something I wouldn't use. I feel like it's too fluffy. And it was just like, if I want to do more than one color, I wouldn't use this brush. Which I've never used none of my brushes that look like this. I feel like they got too much going on, basically. They're not stiff and in one place. Like if I do my eyeshadow, it'll be everywhere. Unless I'm just doing one, I wouldn't use this one. If you're going to use multiple colors, you probably want to use the skinny ones or the tight fit ones. The eyeshadow brush, this is another one. It's the slim one. This is more like when you want to do like multiple colors. So you got that. This is like when I'm typing, I was telling you about. It's a tight fit-in brush. It's stiff like, well, it's not hard. It's still soft. I was saying like it's flat and you can get into those tight corners. And you can use that one or two colors and it won't be all mashed together unless that's the way you blend it out. The number 20 brush is another eyeshadow brush, but this one is round. It has a round tip on it. So you can blend with it, but not too much. It's not really much of a blending brush in my opinion. Let's see. The number 21 brush is called the eyeliner blending brush. And it's really, my pencil broke and got all over my fingers. My lip liner pencil. It's more of a flat brush, so for your eyeliner you can go, when you're putting on your eyeshadow, you can make your own eyeliner color like this right here. You can put it right here, or you could do like a wing, or you could just blend it all out. whichever way you choose, but it's like more like a straight line situation. And this is my favorite brush. It's called, I don't know what it's called because the sticker was not here for that one. Like I missed the whole sticker. I guess it's called the pencil brush. Yeah, you know what it is. Let me put this on here. So this is something I would call a pencil brush, which I always tell myself I would use, but I never use it. Number 22, the pencil brush. It's good for if you want to do a wing and you want to use that that eyeliner that's like, or like a eyeshadow, and you want to use it as an eyeliner instead of using some black liquid liner. This would be good for that, to give you that straight, defined line. Number 25 is called the pencil brush. It's a more thicker type pencil brush. So if you want like a thicker line, this would be the one for you. Number 23 is called the angle brow brush. If you do your brows, then this is a good brush. It's got an angle on it and it's thin. It's a thin brush, and you can, you know, color in your eyebrows as much as you need to, or conceal them with this brush because it's a fine brush, right? Number 24 is called the small eyeshadow brush. Now this is something I would use to put on my highlight and my inner corner because it's very slim like, and it will fit right into the corner of my eyes. Number 26 is called the lip brush. If you want to take your eyeshadow and make it as your lipstick, I do that sometimes, and it'll be great for, you know, lining out your lips as well, or putting on some lipstick, eyeshadow as lipstick. And the lash brush is number 27. It's called the lash and brow. The lash and brow combo brush, because it has the comb and the little brushes for your eyebrows. And that is all of my makeup brushes, and I'm glad I got these brushes so I can explain to you more of what they all mean, because my other brushes are just scattered everywhere. I just use them as I see fit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sure it was probably a little dull, but I'm just explaining brushes, so but I hope you enjoyed this video anyway. I hope you learned something. If you do, if you learned anything, let me know in the comments. Is there any other video that you want to see me do? Let me know in the comments, so I will get to it straight away. I was just actually doing this video like a few days ago, like I said, and I got my brushes, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this video. But I want to do it doing a makeup look, but I can't. So you'll see it in future videos for sure. So if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, then you know that you are the real MVP. Yeah, I've been drinking, so yeah, excuse that. Drinking. But anyways, thank you for watching. Bye.
I just wanna know what your sugar coat. I see it all.